Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about keto versus low carb. A lot of you had questions regarding like, what's the difference? Can you still lose weight on low carb? So most of you know that I've lost over 100 pounds. I've been maintaining my weight for over 15 years. I've done most of it through low carb and keto. So I obviously have a lot to say, and I've just been through a lot on both ends. So I feel like if you're trying to do low carb or you're trying to do keto, I'm just going to kind of explain very briefly what the difference is between the two and like what I've noticed on each. So again, I'm not a doctor. This is just from personal experience that I'm going to share my tips, things that have worked for me, things that have not worked for me, and hopefully it'll be helpful for you too. All right, so I just made a quick coffee so we could sit down and chat, but I just want to go over the difference in fats. So how much fat you eat on both, the carbs, because that's super important, and then also weight loss, because ultimately if you're doing either or, it's more than likely to lose a few pounds. Okay, so let's go sit down and then we're just gonna go over everything. Coffee is so good. It's like literally my favorite thing. Okay, so let's talk about the difference between keto versus low carb. So very, very simply put, keto, you need to stay under 20 net carbs. Low carb, you stay under 100 net carbs. So the carbohydrates are really important when you're doing keto, because in order for your body to be in a ketogenic state, which means that you are burning fat for fuel, you need to stay under the 20 net carbs. Now, some people need to go under 10 net carbs. Why? It varies person to person. So some people lose weight like this on keto. Some people struggle a little bit more because they might have insulin resistance, because they might have just other, whether it's like PCOS or things like that. If you are someone that has tried keto, it did not work for you, comment down below, let me know what your experience was. But again, this is just from personal experience and from experience with my family and people that I know close to me, and also doctors in the space that I'm really close to, that obviously I've learned so much from over the last few years. You can lose weight on both. Okay, we'll talk about weight loss a little later. What I want to cover right now is also the fats. Like, what is the real difference in terms of foods, right? So if you're doing keto, you are going to be eating eggs, you're going to be eating protein, you're going to be eating high fat, because keto is definitely more of a high fat diet. That's literally your fuel source, versus low carb. So low carb, it can be more of a high protein, which is why I thrive on a low carb diet, because I love protein. Protein makes me feel really good. It makes me feel energized. It makes me feel satiated, like I actually feel full. Not to say that keto didn't. I did both. I've lost weight on both. I've been successful on both. I think that what it really gets down to is, what do you feel the best with? Like, if you've never tried either or, give them both a try. They both work. They both have their perks. I would say if you are trying to go the keto route, keto can make you lose body fat like this. The reason why you can lose weight so quickly on keto, or how, I should say how, is by intermittent fasting. So when you intermittent fast, your body, you're not putting food into your body, you're not putting calories into your body, you're not putting sugar into your body. So your body stays in a fasted state. Your insulin is very, very low. And so when you eat anything, like let's say you eat 3 eggs and some avocado, your body, that keeps your insulin very low, almost as if you're in a fasted state. As soon as your body burns through that fat, it goes right back into burning your own body fat for fuel, right? So if you do a lot of intermittent fasting with keto, you will lose a lot of body fat, because your fuel source is fat. And if you are overweight, your body has extra fat to burn. Mentally, it's a struggle, because we're so accustomed and used to eating, right? It's just like almost like a habit. And I want to go off on a tangent, but going over the differences between keto and low carb. With keto, it is definitely a lot more fat in your diet. If you're doing low carb, you can do low fat, low carb. That works so well for me, because I'm a snacker. I love to snack. I love to eat protein. I love to eat chicken breast. I love fish. I love veggies. Fat has a lot more calories than carbs and protein. So your meals are smaller, but they're just as filling. So it really just depends on your mentality, and it depends on what works for you personally. At the end of the day, diets all work, okay? They all truly do work. Whether you decide to go vegan to lose weight, whether you decide to go paleo, whether you decide to go low calorie, I don't recommend that, but whether you decide to go low carb or keto, they will all work if you are consistent and you actually stick to it. I don't know, you guys probably know a lot of people that have lost weight, they lose 20 pounds and then boom, they gain it back. Why? Because they did it in a way that was not sustainable for them. So they maybe half starved themselves, worked out at the gym 7 days a week. They're not gonna continue their life like that forever, right? So what I suggest is just doing something that you can do long term, where you're still gonna be able to have dessert here and there. You're still gonna be able to do things that you love to do, but majority of the time you're gonna stick to like low carb, which is what I do. And again, I'm speaking from personal experience. When I do more of a low carb, I'm definitely doing more low fat. Low fat, high protein. That works wonders for me. As long as I am consistent, I will see the scale move. I will see the changes in my body. If I add in a little bit of exercise 3 days a week, even that much better. If you don't have a gym membership, you can do like little YouTube workouts. I'm trying to put together like a little home workout, really just to kind of help tone up your booty, tone up your legs from like, the comfort of your home. That's what I'm working on with my trainer right now. But overall, I think if you just want to get it out of the way, keto works. It's effective. It's a little more restrictive, but it definitely works. If you want to eat a little bit more food, like actual snacks and, more meals throughout the day, you could definitely do a little bit more low carb, because you are going to go over your carbohydrates on a keto diet. At the end of the day, it really just gets down to what is more sustainable for you to do long term. Keto is definitely more high fat. Low carb is definitely more like high protein, low fat. So that's pretty much the difference between keto and low carb. Okay, so I also wanted to talk about weight loss, because I feel like if someone is trying to do low carb or keto, it's definitely geared towards losing a few pounds. So I've lost weight on both. I originally lost 100 pounds in 6 months on low carb. So low carb is also very, very effective. It just has to be done right, and it has to be done consistently. I've also lost weight on keto. I will say that with keto, the weight can come off very, very quickly, but it definitely feels a little more restrictive. When you're doing keto, you have more energy, you have less cravings because your insulin is very, very low. When your insulin spikes, that's when you want the chips, that's when you want the sugar, that's when you want cookies and ice cream. Your body prefers sugar over fat. As soon as you have some, your body wants more. So I don't know if you've noticed that, if you're on track, you're doing good, and then you just so happen to have candy, or you so happen to have cookies, or you so happen to have something that has carbs, insulin goes through the roof, and then your body is like, give me more. What's gonna help out for low carb when you're trying to lose weight is you're gonna do lower fats. So you're not gonna focus so much on eating so much fat. Instead of having like a lot of fatty meats, you're gonna have chicken breast, you're gonna have turkey, you can have like a lean meat, you can have like a lean fish. You can definitely lose weight on both. It really just depends like what is gonna make you feel happy. Like, I'm all about feeling good, I'm all about feeling happy. Like, if I feel super restricted and I feel like I'm on this crazy diet, I'm not happy. Like right now, I just so happen to be doing keto, even though like in my mind, I'm just doing what feels good to me, what feels comfortable to me. In my mind, I know that I am just sticking to very, very low carb, and I'm doing very low carb, high protein, and then low to moderate fat. The thing is, I don't like the label of it because it puts too much pressure on me. And I think that I'm just kind of going with the flow. Like, how do I feel today? If I need a little extra veggies, I'm gonna do that. If I need a little extra protein, I'm gonna do that. So I feel like you just really need to listen to your body. Listen to your body, stick to whole foods, and the results will follow. I promise you. Like, I have lost over 100 pounds twice. Now I think I'm currently losing a few pounds, and I'm just doing it in a way that feels just really good to me. So if you've tried either, or if you've been successful at keto, or you've been successful on a low carb diet, share your story. I'd love to hear your experience. I'd love to know how much weight you've lost. Overall, I hope that this video was really helpful. I hope it answered your questions regarding like keto versus low carb. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. Share this video with friends, family that might be considering to do keto or low carb, maybe just on starting their weight loss journey. It might be really helpful to them. But thank you guys so much for being here. I love you, and I will see you on my next video. Mwah.